Okay, welcome back to capexforextrading.com. Now in this video we're going to stay with the subject that we discussed in our previous video, but we're going to focus more on how market makers can fool traders who haven't done their research into thinking that they're an ECN broker. So realistically we're going to discuss how some market makers actually pretend to be ECN brokers and generally tend to rip their clients off. Now, if you don't know the difference between market makers and ECN brokers, then I will strongly advise that you watch the video previous to this, because we discussed this in that video in a lot more detail. But in a nutshell, a market maker broker will receive their prices from the interbank market, just like any other broker in the world. But what they will do is manipulate market conditions in their favor through their dealing desk, which we have at the top here. Okay, so you're the trader here on the left hand side, and you're trading and you're being really successful. Now, in eyes of the market maker broker, you're costing them money. So every time that you trade, especially if you trade successfully, you're putting your broker at risk. So the way that they manage that risk is by having a dealing desk that can be either manned by traders, so it's ran manually, or it can be ran automatically through automation, through various complicated algorithms, or a piece of trading software called the virtual dealer plugin. Now, it's within their interest that you lose. So if you're putting your broker at risk, they will make sure that you lose by trading against you through their dealing desk. Okay, so if you put them at too much risk, the market making process will take place to make sure that you are going to lose, because they have access to your account. So it's this collaboration with the dealing desk that's given market makers a bad name, because traders like you here on the left hand side cannot trade successfully and they're not provided with fair trading conditions. The ECN broker is slightly different. So they will still receive their prices from the interbank market, but they won't manipulate the trading conditions. So for example, they won't spike the market, they won't provide you with requotes, they won't not allow you to trade. All they do is provide you with true market conditions. But in order for them to make a profit, they need to mark up the price. So what they will receive, for example, is a 1 pip spread for the Euro USD currency pair from the interbank market, which you will see in your trading platform as 3 pips. So basically they will make 2 pips profit every time that you trade, and they will make this profit fairly. They have no dealing desk and absolutely no desire to trade against you. Now, every broker needs a bridge, and all this is a connection between the broker and their liquidity providers or other third parties, such as large banks or large financial institutions. Now, the reason why they need this connection, or why they need this bridge, is because it is the liquidity providers or other third parties that provide the liquidity to the broker in order for the broker to be able to put up the risk in the market. So basically, these guys enable the broker to trade, and it is this bridge that's required in order for the liquidity providers and other third parties to pass that liquidity through to the broker. So if you're using an MT4 or an MT5 broker, the chances are that your broker is most likely to use the Boston Technologies bridge, which is a company based out of the US, but obviously this can vary from broker to broker. Now, the way in which market makers fool people into thinking that they are an ECN broker is by providing the ability to trade against you to their liquidity providers or other third parties. So, for example, they will say that we have no dealing desk, so we are an ECN broker. That is not true. Okay, just because they have no dealing desk does not mean that they are an ECN broker. All they do in this scenario is provide the ability to manipulate the market to their liquidity providers and other third parties. So the more risk that you put your broker under, i.e. the more successful you are, the more risk or the more trading against you will be done by the liquidity providers or other third parties. So all of the broker's risk is now being managed by these guys. So all they're doing is playing with words here. They will still not provide you with true market conditions. All they will do here is outsource their cheating strategies to their liquidity providers and their other third parties in order to escape from being called a market maker, because nowadays being called a market maker is quite bad, and you're less likely to generate a large customer base if you are a market maker, because more and more traders are now realizing that market makers historically tend to be quite bad brokers. So just be a bit more vigilant and ask a lot more questions when you're choosing a broker, because the reality is, if you go from one broker to the other and you end up with a no dealing desk broker that's pretending to be an ECN broker, nothing's changed. You know, you're the person that has to trade or use this broker, and you will get no benefit of true market conditions, because you will still be using the same type of broker that will just have another name. Now, what we've done to make it easier for you is provide a list on our website of approved Forex brokers. So if you go to our website, capexforextrading.com, and simply click this Forex Brokers tab here, you will see a list of various Forex brokers that we've approved. Now, each one of those Forex brokers has a link in the table to open a live account or open a demo account, depending on which stage you're at. So have a look, scroll down. We're constantly updating this table, and hopefully you will find a broker that's more suitable for you. So that concludes this lesson. All the links that you need will be placed underneath this video. But if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Google+, that would be much appreciated. And we shall see you for the next video. Thanks.